All right, welcome back, everybody. This is SummoNerds again. I'm Evan.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Joe.
Whoa!
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Joe is here with us to commentate on our game.
Joe, the real deal. He's back in action.
Although this is my first time, so...
That's true. This is his first time commentating, so he was in the one game like ages ago, but now he's...
Yeah, you might remember that game where my Rhett Talus just whooped his Sam Farthing.
That
It was actually... As I
It was
remember,
really
it was
close.
close enough that you cursed.
Yeah. That is true.
All right, so yeah, the game we're commentating today is me as Bolvi, is Evan as Bolvi against Matt's Immortal Elien. Right off the bat here, Matt's just getting amazing rolls. Let's just
amazing
rolls. It was really kind of unfair.
It wasn't. It's not even an exaggeration at this point.
Game-changing rolls.
But these are two summoners that we enjoy playing. Matt's always enjoyed Immortal Elien, and I mean all of us do. He's just kind of a nice summoner to play. Oh, there's Matt's glasses kind of making an appearance as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get it.
And then I like Bolvi, but as I was saying to Joe and Matt a little earlier this evening, I always feel like I'm going to enjoy playing Bolvi more than I do in the moment. When I'm actually playing him, I'm like, oh, this isn't quite what I imagined somehow. But I definitely enjoyed him this game. He does some interesting things, and if you can keep if you can construct a base that you enjoy that works well, then it's a really fun game.
Right, exactly. And all three of his upgrades I find really fun to use, but then outside of that, there's not really much to his deck, I feel.
Do you think that the alliances really help with that?
Well, I do have some alliances built into this deck, and I do think that that Ice Golems with upgrades is a pretty fun idea, because it turns them into mobile walls, which is great for Bolvi, and some of the, like, I don't know if the gyro would give them range in the diagonal direction, I believe, because I think it says you can attack diagonal 2 spaces away.
Are you talking about the turret?
The turret. Sorry, yeah. I think the gyro's the ability it gives it, or something like.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that might be it.
But the turret, the turret upgrade could actually give golems range, which obviously I didn't do because I'm just thinking of it now. But like you can do cool things with the ice golems, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, same with the mortar. The mortar would allow them to move and attack a space that's just 3 away, no matter where it was.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been really cool to think of earlier as well.
All right.
But then architects are awesome because they can heal the ice golems that you can summon from deep in enemy territory. So yeah, Bolvi actually I think does really gain something specifically from ice golems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I haven't actually played a game with the new meta, including any of the ice golems or Raldag or Vagnar's. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Wagner. I haven't actually tried any of them with Bolvi yet, just because I had an initial bad impression with Bolvi, just because I just couldn't get the tower mechanic to work quite right. That not necessarily a reflection on how you're supposed to play as Bolvi. Just might be me and my ineptitude. So,
well, it's just a different way of thinking with on Bolvi, because you want to build a base that they can't get through, as opposed to playing the game normally. So, and yes, I did just summon.
Yeah.
Was it necessary at this point, or what are you thinking at this point?
Not necessarily necessary, but I
don't say that again.
That's a weird expression. Okay.
But I couldn't pay for him outright that turn, and it was an easy way to get him. And I always think about Immortal Elien that way, where he's just not going to take damage. So I have no problem putting on Warlock.
It is true that Immortal Elien does not actually need to join the fight. In his he's one of the summoners you can just sit in the back. Bolvi is also his ability is only useful if you keep him in the fight, but you can definitely just ignore Bolvi and keep him in the back as well. I just find that his ability is so wonderful at hacking down commons and taking some big swings at champions. I like to let Bolvi fight a little, and he's got enough health he can kind of take it. But yeah, Immortal Elien, I see no reason why not to just keep him in the back and let his ability do work.
Right. So it doesn't even.
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter
unless I can pull off some assassination. Yeah, I've got my Destabilize in one of my earliest hands.
Hey, there's Raldag. Hey, hi, Raldag.
Yeah, no, I Destabilization in my first hand there is rough because it doesn't.
Right.
You cannot use it this early, especially I've got all my walls out. I got my walls immediately. Or
it hurts you more than it hurts me.
Yeah, so I didn't like that, so I think I discarded Destabilize pretty quickly. But the walls I've got out immediately were kind of nice because it means Bolvi's attack value is actually very high very quickly. And here I am putting the Colossus on the...
Oh, so it basically just made a trampled unit.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of made an elephant there, and with that has one less attack but is a wall, which is nice.
And what we were saying about Bolvi is his ability is just amazing on the defense too, because anything that approaches him is going to get wailed on for 1 billion dice. Yeah. And if he's on the defense, then he can block off those routes for him to be attacked. So like even if he doesn't kill whatever he's attacking, you can maybe just take a hit back. And then the next turn, whatever he attacked is almost certainly going to die because he generates so much attack from his ability.
Actually, I'm starting to... Well, now that I'm watching this now, I'm starting to really appreciate the Ice Golems in Bolvi, just because in Hogar's deck, you're always under threat, or there's always the option for your opponent just to remove the rune from your Ice Golem.
Right.
Whereas there's no option like this here, and with shielding, you can always break the shield in Hogar's deck. So this gives you a really safe option with the Ice Golems. Fortunately, got some bad rolls.
I did not kill the Harbinger, but that's all right. The big thing is that the Ice Golems, they don't provide any, there's no defensive bonus with them as ice walls in this deck. Hogar has that, but Bolvi doesn't. However, and also sorry, if you kill an Ice Golem with an upgrade under it, you get 2 magic because the upgrade goes to your magic. So they provide a target for your opponent. Your opponent's going to want to attack them, but
someone's proud of this card.
Burnt Sacrifice, and a couple of those. Harud.
How rude.
Oh, my.
I feel like that joke is always going to be made, and it's always going to be funny.
The last thing the Ice Golems do that is important to mention is the Ice Golems provide you with 1 more wall for Bolvi's ability. So they add attack dice. You have to wound them, but
so you could theoretically have
a lot of attack.
Theoretically, almost as much as what's his name? I can't remember.
You could potentially
with
no, it's only 6. It's only +6.
Yeah, you could have total of 8 because of the upgrades. You're limited by the upgrades before you roll the golems.
Correct.
So you could have 8 attack though, which is still massive.
8 attack is ridiculous.
Yeah, the only thing that can really... Is there anything that can get 8 attack other than Raoul in the whole game? Maybe...
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know you can get 7 with Abomination if you're attacking Dibs.
What about a Mind Witch Abomination? They can get 8. Right?
Oh yeah, that's actually a problem with the app.
Yeah, the app. I don't think the app. Yeah, the app treats the Mind Witch as if it has 0 attack.
Yeah,
which is,
but it does not actually.
Yeah.
I think it's with the way it's programmed. I think it's programmed to assign a random attack of 1 through 6 as opposed to how the card reads, but that's okay. Or 0 through 6. But it's okay. I said right the first time. It was 1 through 6. Evan, get it right.
All right, so someone just played a burnt sacrifice, or
there was a Phoenix that
from the ashes.
From the ashes. Yeah.
So what I did was I rolled for the skeleton. Didn't like what I got, so instead played for the from the ashes.
But he got that 1 there, which means he couldn't raise it to a 6.
Also couldn't raise it to a 6, and I didn't want to spend 2 to do 1 wound.
Yeah.
So that was a bad roll.
That was an important bad roll.
Yeah.
Actually, that's that was big because if he'd done 3 wounds to me this early, that would have been a problem. Especially, you'll notice how many more units he has on the board right now than I do. And I was definitely concerned at this stage in the game.
Yeah, actually, this is a common winning Immortal Elien position for me, is right early on, where he just has all his men up front and doing automatic wounds because of his ability.
And his commons are phenomenal, so they can stay out there and do some real damage.
But it was interesting. Before we played, I even thought, I'm like, Bolvi has a lot of things that he can do well against this team, because he's able to defend easily and cut off that, because Immortal Elien has that range issue just like any other Fallen Kingdom deck. Obviously Warlocks help a little bit, but Bolvi in particular is really good at walling himself off and generating a lot of attack die in the back there.
Truth. Well, that's a little bit my plan here. I just put that assault tower down to give me some cover on that side, so he can't move around on that side if I mess this up. I'm gonna put down a wound on all my walls, including my ice golem, giving Bolvi 6 attack.
Yeah.
So I can kill that cultist and then shoot through the space where the cultist was and kill the Harbinger, and then he can't surround Bolvi. That's the plan. And I did it. I got a nice roll there. Killed that cultist, and then I'm going to shoot and try to kill that Harbinger. I also moved my Ice Golem back to the back row so that he doesn't get sniped. I could have had him out there in front, but I'm worried that I'm going to lose the Colossus upgrade early, and that I had to play the Colossus upgrade kind of because it was clogging up my hand.
Did you build any engineers in this deck?
Engineers.
Or not engineers, architects. Excuse
Architects, yeah, absolutely. I never leave Bolvi's deck without him.
Yeah.
That was a dumb phrase. I do keep them. I do keep them in his deck because they can heal his walls, which gives his ability a little more use in the long run. They can heal the ice golems. They can heal the towers. You can build things off of the architects. I think the towers specifically. They're nice to have.
In many ways, they're a lot like priests in the
Sarah's deck.
in Sarah's deck.
Yeah. Just why would you build a Sarah deck without priests? That's like you could, but I think it would be bad idea.
Yeah, those holy judgments really come in handy. So Matt, how much magic do you have right now?
That's a very good question.
A lot, I think. Oh.
I know you have a.
Fortunately, I look away when Matt does this. I look literally the other direction, so I didn't see that. That could have been really bad.
Those cards are actually quite hard to read.
Yeah, the font isn't ideal for this.
It's
camera.
I think the color, on the Fallen Phoenix cards in particular, that red on that green is a little rough.
I definitely have a burnt sacrifice in there.
I was just about to say that you have a tendency to use the whenever you play as a Fallen Phoenix, you tend to use the magic pile in pretty creative ways.
Yeah, like in the past, I've used Elien's ability just to move cards into the discard from the ashes.
Yeah,
and it's really annoying when he does that.
Yeah, it's true. Like he'll already have a hit, and he'll raise it to a better hit, just so that he can get the magic.
It's like a 5 or 6 would be better, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
There we go. He hit 1. He's going to pay... Nope, he's decided not to. Also, I should just mention right now, you might have noticed already, we've been moving a little bit fast here, but I was really bad at showing my hand this game. I apologize. I don't think it will affect the video too much, but I realized that was just my mistake. Sorry about that. It was just... I don't know why that night I was just not thinking about it very well. I start to a little later in the game, I think.
See, Evan doesn't show his hand. Matt shows his hand, but we can't read anything on it.
Right. So
you guys needed me a lot sooner.
There's also a turn. Yeah, I know. Joe fixed all our problems. There was a time in this game too. I forget which turn it was, but it's a little later in the game where I do show my hand, but I show it at like lightning speed. So I apologize for that. Just pause if you want to see it. It's lame way to do.
Must have been doing something here.
Yeah, we were waiting around. That's why it's speeding up the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I'm a little worried still. Bolvi is not out of trouble. That wall gives Matt a nice forward position. I was trying to think of if I could summon something behind the warrior, so that summon space is taken up, so he can't summon anything there. The warlock is just a little scary. I don't know. It's not a phenomenal position, but I feel like I can get out of it. Still, it's not.
The Oathsworn are pretty decent against the Fallen Phoenix.
The Oathsworn are just pretty decent in general.
Just against any deck that has high cost commons, or really any deck that has commons that usually cost more than 1.
Yeah.
However, much the same as in Moira's deck, where I usually keep Cherubim and Crusaders. I keep like a strong number of Cherubim and Crusaders, and I take out the Defenders. It's not because the Defenders aren't great. It's because the Cherubim and Crusaders work so well together, and I can't justify taking them out. It's the same thing with Bolvi, where I can't really justify taking out the towers, and I can't justify taking out the architects because of the towers. And so I end up taking out the Oathsworn almost every time. And they're great, so I feel bad about it.
Yeah, I struggle to take them out of Bolvi's deck for some reason. I feel like Oathsworn would be good in any deck, but for some reason I like them.
So
I don't
do
know
you-
if it's just because they originated there. I don't
When
know.
you guys construct decks with Bolvi, do you usually tend to do more splashy decks with usually a plethora of commons, or do you tend to stick to like 3 types of commons?
I've never actually used Bolvi since the Alliance's decks came out.
Yeah, this is our first time using him since the Alliance's deck came out, I think.
Yeah, but when I built them in the past, I definitely have defenders. Definitely build defenders.
Oh yeah,
in
defenders
the
are
deck.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
right, and they help
Yeah.
out the towers a lot.
I definitely stick to 3 or 4 commons. I don't like to have too many commons in Bolvi's because I feel like with Bolvi, what you want is to be able to predict your next hand fairly accurately so that you can build a base. Because Bolvi's almost like playing another game while you're playing Summoner Wars. You want to it's like a tower defense game or something with him. You want to you can construct a base and keep yourself safe, let the enemy fall into your defenses and die. And that's what I try to do with Bolvi. And if you have too many splashy commons, if you don't have enough consistency in your deck, it can be kind of hard to strategize your how your base layout's going to work.
So Matt has Karthos and Harud.
Karthos and Harud in that
So
hand.
some bold choices.
Yeah, no, this is the first time I put Harud in his deck.
I think there's nothing wrong with Harud. I think he's pretty fantastic.
I like him in all the Fallen Kingdom decks also. I just haven't used him in there. Actually, the last time I played Immortal Elien was probably my favorite deck because it involved the Corpse Worm, and nobody...
gosh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I love Corpse Worm so much.
Well, he was really cool because he allows that other summon point during the summon phase, which lets the cultists take control of something with the Force Conversion. Force Conversion is my favorite event that he has. It's like one of the most fun to use.
So you can force conversion a unit that is 3 spaces away from one of your walls
Yeah.
by putting Corpse Worm, then Cultist, then force conversion.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal because your opponent will not expect that.
And it could be game making.
Well, and just having something where you can summon your own units up deep in enemy territory, and the Corpse Worm's hard to kill.
See, that's
It's
why
nice.
I like Hellcar so much, just because it gives the Fallen Kingdom such mobility that you don't see.
That's very
with
true.
that you didn't, frankly, before Alliances, you didn't have with them.
Yeah, it's true. The Fallen Kingdom have
Yeah,
always struggled with their mobility, but Hellcar and the Corpse Worm certainly help things out a little bit.
Yeah, and of course, Mad Syrian with his ability to summon during the event phase with
Half of his
Yeah.
more than half, right?
It's
Reanimate, Searching the Stone.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, that's
6
it.
events.
right, but I meant his event types, but that's
Oh, yeah.
true. It literally is over. It is
It is 2/3 of his events.
his total event cards.
Yeah, are summoned during the event phase cards, which is absolutely amazing. He has
Yeah.
so
Which
much surprise attack potential in that
Sometimes
deck.
I think people overlook the significance of being able to summon during the event phase.
Yeah, Searching the Stone is an amazing card.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We screwed up a roll. I had Strength and Structures out, and I couldn't remember what he rolled because he rolled thinking it was 2 hits. It was 2 4s, and he assumed there were 2 hits because he forgot about my Strength and Structures. And I couldn't remember what he rolled, and we couldn't look back on the video because it was still recording. So I just told him to re-roll. He got a 6 and a 2 or something, so he got an extra wound on my wall, but that's fine.
I'd also like to note, I said at the time, I think it was 2/4.
Yeah, he did, and I was like, but I didn't want to be wrong about that and have Matt get slighted because of our memory. So I just told him re-roll. I figured that's fair. He has the same odds of getting the same things, so and I didn't remember what it was.
All right, so you did show your hand there, Evan.
I did.
And you had the
Grunder's
big
Tower.
You had the big tower, yeah.
And that's a beautiful card.
I've seen you play that in decks other than Bolvi's.
Yeah, I did in something.
Which card? Which card? Oh,
Grunder's
Grunder.
Tower.
Grunder's
Which
Tower.
I always figured if you're not going to put the Colossal upgrade on that, then why bother?
Well,
Just
actually,
having
Evan and I were talking this game. We were talking about Grunder's Tower, and I was saying actually because last time I played Bolvi, I had put the mortar on Grunder's Tower, and I thought that the mortar was actually better than the Colossus on that.
What I'm thinking actually now, my thinking on Bolvi's deck is that the Mortar is actually his best event,
Yeah.
and that the Colossus was my initial pick for his best event because I'm thinking, you can trample things, now your walls can move, you can still attack stuff. Grunder's Tower is now an incredibly powerful melee champion or a tower, with all sorts of health. And I was like all about the Colossus, but now I'm thinking actually the mortar gives you so much crazy, scary range, and can do so much splash damage. And I think Grunder's Tower with the mortar is really hard to kill, and then you can do a bunch of wounds. I healed the wall there for one, and then I killed my architect for some magic.
How many architects do you usually build in your decks?
Whatever the normal number is, minus like 1 or maybe 2.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 architects I think still in there, something like that.
All right.
At the lowest.
Actually, yeah, I think upgrade-wise, the Colossus is the weakest of the upgrades. I'm a big fan of the turret and the mortar.
The only thing about the Colossus that is really nice is that if you play Bolvi, especially a straight-up like base deck Bolvi, your towers your units in general are very immobile, and that's a big problem because his units are all strong, but then they can just be avoided so easily. And even with the mortar and the turret, you can snipe things. Like if you're playing with Jaxic or something like that, you can snipe at them with like a ranged unit and then run them away before they can do anything. But the Colossus means you actually do have the mobility you desire the whole time, and I don't know, it's that trample is really nice.
Yeah,
occasionally
no,
too.
I just think I prefer it less than the other 2 upgrades, and like you can just have you can have the mortar and the turret cover all that ground in the back, and even if they're not attacking you, you can just bide your time until you get like a strong champion or something.
That's also true.
Alright, so...
Really, all 3 upgrades are amazing.
Yeah.
That's what it comes out. And then his other events are kind of like alright, I guess.
Jeez, yeah, I mean, if you leave him alone, he's a really strong summoner, I think.
Well, Matt's paying 6.
Let's see what he's bringing now.
Yeah, this is a bold... This
Big
is
Herud.
a bold move with good odds. That's why I did this.
Yeah. The goal was to use Herud, and he's going to play that wall, and I think he's going to take it back. Yep.
My hand was the only reason I took that back, and this was a mistake. I would have rather just had kept it out there. I also summoned a warlock.
I like that.
Yeah, I put the. I thought destabilize might still be an issue, even though I think it's literally the top card in the discard, and I just wasn't looking.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking, destabilize could still be bad at some point, so I just didn't put it out, and that was the only reason I didn't. I'm like considering again.
And I think you take it back again.
Yeah.
I think you take it back after you like start moving things.
I like to play out a phase.
Yeah. Out of phase. He's starting rolling with his hand, then he's gonna switch it. I think. I think he puts it down later, some later part in the game.
So what I'm thinking here is I'll attack that. I guess I did just bring out the wall this turn. I think I was So I just outright missed everything.
He was attacking the tower.
So even if that last one was a 2,
he could make it 3 hits.
Yeah, but
that was literally the best roll you could have had while not being able to kill the tower.
Yeah.
Which means he really should have killed the tower because all he needed was 2 hits, and then even a 1 would have been fine.
And and also I most likely would have. I think likely I should have gained a magic that turn because. I mean, I guess it's a 50-50 whether that misses a 1 or a 2, but you're supposed to hit 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
And so, worst case scenario in my mind, well, that was the worst case scenario, but what I was thinking was I'll probably go 2 out of 3 normally, and then I'll just pay for the rest and kill it and get that magic back.
Yeah, you'll either get the magic back or get 1 extra. And see, here I didn't show my hand again, but I got an arc. I didn't get anything great to put behind Herud, but I wanted to keep that summon spot locked down. And I want to kill Herud.
That's probably wise.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna go with Bolvi with my
Destabilize.
6 attack again, with his.
That's so awesome.
Right.
So that's why Bolvi's so amazing.
So yeah, why I summoned Herud in the first place was first he was clogging my hand, and second Evan had 6 magic. I remember at the time.
I did.
So I was like, oh, that will pretty much eliminate any champion for this turn if I just summon him out. So I just didn't. I was thinking no champion's going to come out this turn, which was nice in that, and I got him out of my hand. So
I used my turret upgrade there to kill that guy. My tower is the turret, and So if he'd killed my tower, he would have got the tower and the turret, and he could have potentially done a from the ashes to hit me with something big. I didn't know if he had that in his hand or not.
I can't from the ashes with those units because they're not Phoenix Elves.
Oh, interesting. They specifically have to be Phoenix Elf.
Phoenix Elves have to kill them, and then they raise a Fallen Kingdom unit.
Okay, cool.
They do.
Yeah.
I was thinking the whole time you could.
It's an interesting distinction that the cards make.
But yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was a turning point because he just spent 6 magic doing a wound. And then
I spent 7 magic doing a wound.
Yes, yeah.
The way of that's true.
And then I killed him by doing a wound to my walls, which isn't a big deal. And that definitely puts Matt now at a slight disadvantage. However, because he was hanging on to those cards forever, his deck is huge. He has not used hardly any of his deck. So he's absolutely not out of this game. But it definitely was it was either going to put him in a winning position, a strong winning position, or put him on his back foot in the Magic economy.
Based on how Matt's playing this game, I wouldn't be surprised if he lost by just playing 2 warlocks without paying. I mean, no offense, but
I do this all the time with Immortal Elien. I just pay warlock wounds all the time. I don't worry about him.
Yeah, he does this with Rhett even. He's like, Matt will even
Well,
do this.
I guess that's true. With the Bolvi, you don't really have to worry about like a Lion or Strike or anything similar to that. So
Yeah, it's true. You don't have to worry too much about assassination play unless you do some crazy thing with Expand.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, I just love. They're not like fantastic units, but I just love Harbingers so much.
Yeah.
Harbingers are pretty good in Ilien's deck.
Illian? Oh, this Illian.
Yeah.
Moldaria.
Yeah, they're not good in.
They're you could just get. You could literally play any other common.
Yeah, I mean,
units that
you
could be
might
better.
as well just have a warrior.
I had a
in place
strike.
of-
Exactly, because that has the potential of being useful.
I believe I had a strengthen structures there. It's why my tower didn't die. Just in case anyone was wondering, I think is what's happening. Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I think, and that's why he's going to put 1 wound on that wall. Yeah, instead of 2. But just wanted to throw that out there for the.
You know what would have been nice? That roll on the other things.
All right, so
think
we were
units.
just discussing Raldag because we played a few games before doing this video, and we were all discussing when we've played Raldag and actually have him in a position that was
Where he can use his ability.
where we could actually use his ability.
Yeah, it's very.
And it's
rare.
really hard. It's really rare and unfortunate because we just love him in general.
I love Raldag, but if I'm going to spend 6 magic on a champion, I want him to be able to do to just stand alone. I don't want to have to pay for another common to be able to use Raldag. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it might be. I mean, I haven't given up hope on Raldag yet, but
No,
it might have been easier. It might have been better actually just to play put Brag in because your ice golems
it's
would
the
be
Mm-hmm.
pretty damn hard to kill.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ice golems would be harder.
Yeah.
That's true. I hadn't even thought of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, everyone focuses on the freeze Brag combo, which is one of the
Well,
most devastating and annoying
And I
things
couldn't.
in all
Yeah,
Summoner
I obviously
Wars.
couldn't have put Brag in this deck because
Right.
the factions, but in the Hogar deck you could do that, and then it would kind of make Hogar's ability pointless. But it's not terrible because it would still be really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only issue. That's the only issue I have with Bragg is just it's Hogar's already supposed to be doing that, thematically supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Right,
Even though
but
he doesn't do it, it is significant. 1 extra die is very significant. for that.
exactly, and
ability.
plus it's not like you're not getting a decent champ, and he's ranged at the
Yeah,
same time.
and I
Mhm.
mean technically Hogar is doing that the whole game, so it's
That's true.
so Bragg can do it for a bit.
Well, here's what I'm doing here. I just used a accelerated construction. Is that what I did now?
Oh, what event were you looking for?
It's about to see played. Let's see, expand.
Well, I'm excited.
You know what
Is that what that is?
I think accelerated constructions one of the most cool thing about that event
I agree.
is
One of the best things of his deck.
Well, no, it is. But what I was gonna say is what I really like about it is you can get a wall with it too.
Oh yeah.
You can just get a wall. That's really interesting.
No, yeah, I think that's really cool. Or anything with I could get an ice golem because it has built.
Yeah.
I could do a bunch of stuff with accelerated construction.
It's
So
Yeah, but it's just like a free die for Bolvi also. Like even if you don't want an event, it's like a free die for him.
Well, it's
not
like
in this situation because you already had all your walls.
It's
out,
almost like it's almost like a superior planning or something. It's just like a really nice way to keep your deck fluid and to be able to do what you want when you want it. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to move Bolvi around some crazy path, but you know, he made it to where he's supposed to go. I'm going to do a wound to that Ice Golem with just moving, or to the Warlock with my Ice Golem by moving over it. And now that I've got this this crazy thing out here, I've paid for Grunder's Tower so I can attack this attack this guy with impunity because I don't have any magic, so he can't burn me.
You have this nice little fortress going on.
That's what I was doing. I was really hoping to catch all these commons in the crossfire and kill them all.
I actually did pay a magic there to trigger the ability so that he didn't get the magic from it.
Which is fine, because that would have allowed me... I could have paid for another attack with that unit. I could have just kept the magic. So I'm attacking now with with that other tower, and now I'm attacking with Grunder. Nope, I'm attacking with the Ice Golem. That was probably wise. Because if I had attacked with Grunder, I would have hurt my Ice Golem if I'd killed it, which was likely. Alright, so now I've got a bunch of units on the board. I've got a nice little fortress here. Those first two rows on my side of the board are really hard for him to move through because they've got just a bunch of ranged units that can shoot him up.
So
I can attack his walls.
Where would you go from here, Evan? Matt seems to be kind of stuck in the back. Moving forward for him would not be quite the wisest.
Well,
unless he does it with caution.
From here, what I can do is I can just keep shooting his wall until he wants to do something. Yeah, facing the Warlock. See, the big thing is from here, I really can just sit. I don't need to do anything because I can that forward wall next to my assault tower, the one directly adjacent to my assault tower, I can shoot that with Grunder and the assault tower for 4 dice per turn on that one wall, and I can just wait till the wall's destroyed and then I could I can go from there. I don't have to do anything crazy. In fact, Bolvi's real safe where he is. I've got some units out. I'm gonna let him come to me. Eventually, I'd have to go to him a little bit if the game, if he could find a way to hurt me without getting hit back. But I don't see any reason to go to him in the position I'm in.
Okay.
I could. We actually discussed this. This game was reasonably close and was the closest game to a stalemate we've ever had as a group. This was incredibly close to a stalemate because of exactly what Joe was talking about. At some point, neither one of us had a real reason to go towards the other one, because at some point it doesn't benefit either person. And what it made us realize is we need to get some proper stalemate rules together for if this ever happens.
Well, yeah, or we could just call it stalemate.
I mean, that's fine too. Yeah, whatever. We just have to decide in advance if we're just going to call it a stalemate. We have to be okay with that. Yeah. But it can happen in Summoner Wars. We just haven't had it happen to us yet.
Yeah, now that I think about it, Bolvi's almost designed to be a turtle deck. Which he can make him really frustrating against decks such as the Tundle, maybe.
He can absolutely be a wall destruction deck, like, very easily. I was thinking about, the assault towers. If you just put them in range of walls, my assault tower with the turret upgrade, I did not put in range of a wall. But if I had, I could be shooting walls for 8 dice a turn. Destabilize. He comes with, in his base deck, he has Dwarf, which is a champion I never think is very fun to use. But if you were really hoping to smash down some walls, what's he get? Like 4 dice attacking walls?
Might be 4. Yeah.
And he's reasonably cheap. I think he's like 5 cost for 5 life or something like that, and 4 attack on walls. So you can really hammer your opponent's walls and just let that be your strategy. Yeah. Put a couple engineers in there for good measure, or ballistas. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do that, but you can play Bolvi as an aggressive wall destruction deck that can rival Olden.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted this deck to be tower based and I wanted to use Ice Golems.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Ice Golems, if not better than just going straight for the wall destruction, or at least more entertaining.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun for sure.
I think so.
But
it is exciting to watch your opponent's walls just get pummeled, but sometimes it's just annoying. Plus, engineers
Engineers
die really easily.
They're only good for destroying walls. Yeah.
Can be countered pretty easily.
Yep.
The ballistas and the towers really have the same big problem, and it's that if they can shoot a wall, your opponent can almost definitely.
I don't know what I'm doing there.
Just changing seating position or something, I guess. Yeah, the problem with the towers and the ballistas is that if you can shoot an enemy's wall, it's pretty likely they can summon something in between your unit and the wall, and then just you can't hit the wall anymore, and they can just whack on your ballista or your tower. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of for that forward attack. You have to keep some pressure on your opponent so that they don't just focus down your towers or your ballistas, whatever you're using. You have to make sure they have to focus on your other things.
So I have a Harbinger out here who...
Oof.
Yeah, so
there we go.
I still killed it, but
and
my goodness.
Yeah, I know, that was rough. But you did get your magic back for that, so that's kind of important to notice that, like, gosh, Elien's ability, as expensive as it is, it's really nice.
I believe that Immortal Elien was designed just for Matt, just because I know how frustrated he gets with rolls. And I know he doesn't mind spending the extra magic.
Yeah,
just
except
for them to
when
go
they're
his way.
ones. Except when they're ones. That's when it becomes an issue to spend the magic.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's where we're kind of at. Matt's in range of Grunders. The game's winding down, but you notice my deck is gone. I do still have Raldag in my hand, even though I haven't shown it in a while. And I'm just gonna attack his Harbinger. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Raldag, Vognar, some other stuff.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Vognar came super late in my deck, and I was upset because he would have been so fun with a ton of ice golems and towers. Mm-hmm. I had good odds of getting out a bunch of free built units.
Yeah, Vognar and like Raldag. Hard to really get that working.
Yeah, I've had some great plays with Vognar. It's just it's for whatever reason it's rare for him to pop up when you want him.
In the early half of the deck. Yeah. He almost always comes late for me.
Yeah, it's the same with me. He and Raldag often come up late.
I mean, regardless...
I got Raldag in like one of my first hands. Vognar was in my last...
Well, yeah, regardless of whether or not you get him early or late, he's still pretty solid stat-wise.
Yeah.
He's got a ton of health.
Yeah.
2 attack is not...
It's just
pitiful.
Right. It's just when we're talking about Hogar again. Hogar seems to struggle with pain for things. Mm-hmm. So when you get to whack out free things, it only helps.
I think, have an extra expand. I think that's what I've got. I've got an expand, an ice golem, and Raldag and Vognar, and one more card.
Oh, there's Helkar.
Yep, Helkar.
He had a Reaver.
Might be my favorite champion in all the Summoner Wars.
Helkar is amazing.
Helkar actually might be my favorite summoner, just because, like I said earlier, the mobility options is just fantastic. And she's the only Fallen Kingdom
ranged champion.
Yeah, ranged champion.
That is actually cool.
Especially in Alien's deck, where he can actually make her one die useful.
Exactly.
And
I think she really works in almost any of the Fallen Kingdom decks.
They all benefit from having Helkar.
My favorite champion is. We've revealed Matt's already is Spider.
Yeah, Spiders is pretty. Spider's pretty awesome. There's so many champions.
I did want to mention that Reaver I have in my hand. I like to do this cool thing with Elien where he gets the Reavers out and triggers their ability. And then he can purge the Reaver onto a group of enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bright. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good move. And you can guarantee that it'll work, which is nice.
Unless you roll one.
Yeah. That requires just for the security a lot of magic.
A decent bit of magic, but it's situational when you. That's why I didn't play the Reaver.
But you're getting all your just fiddling with all your magic, just showing Evan, look at all this magic I have.
He's got a bunch, and then you'll notice what scares me more than the magic is how much deck he has. He has so much deck left.
Yeah, that's one thing about this game that I really realized is that because you can play and be really, really aggressive right out the gate and just discard or build to magic a bunch of commons or even events that could have been useful. Get your champions out. But if those die and you have no deck left, and your opponent has gone through like maybe half their deck.
Yeah, then all of a sudden the tide turns.
I try to play for the long game. I try not to build.
It just depends on the team you're using. Like the sneaks, I burn through my deck all the time, really quickly, almost. And
right, yeah, because you don't really need a. There's really no magic economy, or you don't really have to worry about saving up for magic or anything like that. And the
keeping the aggression is good with sneaks. Often.
Exactly.
But yeah, the big Bolvi in this deck, a lot of his stuff is expensive. I mean, my champions were 6, 6, and 7 costs. That's really bad. And most of my commons were 2 cost. I had a few architects, but otherwise it was like 2 cost. I think I had 1 Oathsworn in there still. By the way, I did deck build 1 Oathsworn because I wanted a nice chance for a 1 cost that Matt didn't expect that could do 2 damage to a common. I thought that'd be good, but I didn't end up. I think I threw it to Magic. The big thing that Bolvi has going for him is his positioning, but the problem is that Magic economy, especially the way I built the deck, meant that to hold Matt's onslaught, even though I killed Harud, even though I've killed a whole bunch of his commons, even though I've kept him on his back foot, he has 3 wounds on him that I didn't do, and then and his magic, he's had to waste a bunch of it on these abilities. He's still got a ton of deck, and I'm out. So like this game, what you see on the field is pretty close to what I have. Like I don't have a lot of other options here.
Yeah, I mean my deck's actually a lot closer now. I think there's like maybe 3 cards in that pile.
Yeah, but you still got how much magic do you have there? You did spend
like 7 or something.
Yeah. You have a ton of magic. You have Hellcar. You have Karthos, which can get you other champions.
I think you specifically have 8 actually, because I asked if it was enough for the Hellfire Drake, and you said no. And I think
which is
it
correct.
is 8.
But it doesn't really give you a number.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I said...
So that was a bad question.
Actually, well, I think my question was worse. I think it was, how much does the Hellfire Drake cost? Is it 8? And you said, no, it's 9. And I said, oh, okay, so you don't have enough for that. And you said, yes. It was very cut and dried. I thought 8 might be enough because I was scared.
Actually, that's what we were talking about. The Hellfire Drake actually doesn't really have much of a place in that deck because of the cost. But in this situation, I would have loved the Hellfire Drake.
Honestly, I'd just put the Fire Drake in. Just because,
yeah, I mean,
I feel guilty ever putting him in anywhere.
That's me too. I don't like putting the regular Fire Drake in just because I feel like he is just too good. I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to feel bad for him being good. I just think he's. Yeah. I think he was just. It doesn't make the game more interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
that's also true.
He's he's very competent. He's very. Sturdy. You can get you can just get a ton of if you just use his ability, you just get a ton of damage in a line.
Yeah, I like to really play on the Fallen Kingdom side of Immortal Elien's deck more so than the Phoenix Elves. I just enjoy the Fallen Kingdom teams more. But I did build a cool deck one time with Fire Beast and Holius into Immortal Alien's deck.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
He just purged that Harbinger for an extra magic here, so he has a better chance at killing this tower. Just so if you're wondering what happened there.
I did 1 damage to all that empty space.
Oh no, the
or whatever
empty space.
that continent is over there on the map.
South Myrick.
Yeah, is that what that one is?
Yeah, it's South America.
No, I know, but I thought.
You just used the cultist ability. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So are you gonna summon something with Karthos right now, or are you a chicken?
He's summoning Karthos. No, he's good.
I'm glad you're not a chicken.
Yeah, he's gonna get a free 2 wounds there on my champ. Fortunately, Grunder's Tower just has massive amounts of HP, so he's not.
I know. I wasn't even that happy with this, just because I'm like, oh, an architect could just heal him. But
yeah. Here's the thing. I really thought my last 5 cards had an architect in it. I was sure that I had 1 more architect. I built a bunch earlier. I didn't have any more architects. This is where I really wanted an architect, was there, that little walled off area back there with Grunder's Tower. I really expected to just be able to keep this game going indefinitely by healing up all my stuff. I did not have any more architects left, so I should have built 1 more in. I should have left 1 more in there. That was my mistake, or counted them. I was just going based on feel or something. I wasn't thinking about it.
So this game's starting to look like it's the tides are turning.
That's true. Matt's got more units out, which is nice, but he just has to be able to kill this heavy HP champion with a really nice upgrade on it. That's the one struggle we've got here.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen this game yet, so I'm just as excited as all of you guys.
All of you guys who watch the first 5 minutes and skip to the end.
Exactly. So then, yeah.
Don't think I can't see that. My YouTube analysis page.
Oh,
I'm teasing it.
You have that power because that's weird.
I can see average view duration, which is kind of interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, there's some fun things you
People
can look up
watch it and then like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, they're like, I thought this was Summoner's War. They exit.
So Grunder just hit 2 for 2 on that Harbinger, which also killed the
cultist and did 1 to Karthos, which was great. And then I shot through with the expanded tower and hit Karthos. Got 2 more commons out there for the price of 1. And then I killed 2 of his things, so I got back the magic I spent that turn. It went very smoothly. Now all I'm caring about is getting out one of my champions. I'm trying to figure out what's the best champion, Wagnar or Aldag. Obviously Wagnar has a lot more HP, which is good.
But he costs an extra magic.
Yeah, he costs an extra magic, and his ability's pointless at this stage in the game. So, because I don't have a deck. So I was kind of trying to weigh the two. We'll see what I actually do.
Although you do
that
have,
was the
you
that
do
was the
have
question.
a fair number of commons on the board.
Yeah.
2, which is, I mean, not nothing.
Yeah, it's true. It's not nothing. But this is the struggle here. He's almost absolutely likely to. Yeah, there we go. He just got all 3. He was almost absolutely likely to kill that. Now he's got 2 magic, which he can flip for 1 more common with precise.
With Karthos. Well, yep. Were you under threat of Evans summoning anything?
No, because no, because
regardless, he could just.
Yeah, I'd used all my upgrades and I didn't have another expand, so there was no way to summon off the ice golem.
Like it was possible he could have had like a spearman or something, but I thought that was pretty unlikely.
Yeah,
that would have been hysterical.
Yeah, I did have that 1 splash Oathsworn, but that wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, now that he's summoned,
a stunning lack of my units in there, but I feel like a lot of them have died. Like in that, like I chose a cultist, but because there wasn't an option to choose better thing.
Yeah, I think most of the units that I've killed are in my magic pile, and they like stayed in the bottom of my magic pile, and I kept piling my own things on the top and paying for them. Yeah. It wasn't intentional. I wish that had been intentional because it was good, but it was just the way my magic pile worked this game. So now I'm grundering Karthos here. And I just rolled well on Karthos that game. I just killed him outright and did a wound to that. So
yeah,
that was really...
Karthos took every die that was...
He did. He took every die. Yeah. Well, he took 4 out of 4 die, and then he took the 1 from the 2 out of 2 I got on the other thing. So I just rolled 3 good turns, or sorry, 2 good turns, but 3 good rolls that killed Karthos and a bunch of commons at the same time.
So at this point in the game, Matt, do you have how many cards do you have in your hand?
Maybe 1 actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might be down to 1.
No, I think I have a tiny bit more.
You might have. I saw 3 earlier, but then you played the cultist.
Well, the cultist was
from my
resurrected, so I think I still do have 3 to make this.
No, you do. I remember now what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to figure out if there was a better place to put my ice golem or not. I'm shooting at the cultist with. I wanted my ice golem to live, actually, specifically because I was thinking I could get out Raldag and his ability would still be useful, even though obviously my ice golem's going to get shot down before I get anywhere with Raldag, but that's fine. My idea was still, I just didn't want him to die. I wanted to have more stuff on the field that I could play with. Here comes Matt.
Here comes a big miss.
Yep.
Yeah, and he was upset about that, but it's okay because I reciprocate it right back. 1. Yep, there we go. So, it's an exciting match.
So he's imagining this ice golem.
I attack his wall.
Cultists just like swinging at each other and just missing.
Yeah, they're both like all tired and stuff. They ran across continents to get to where they are.
They're both very wounded.
In the middle of the ocean swimming.
But ultimately, the cultist is on top.
Yeah, it's true. Cultist finally got it with that beautiful 4, and then what he's gonna do here is use one of the 2 last cards in his hand, or 3 last cards in his hand. 2? 2. It might be 2 at this point. You might have dropped onto Magic or something.
Yeah, I think I only have 2.
He's going to use a...
From the Ashes.
From the Ashes. I always forget what that's called.
Ah.
From the Ashes, and shoot at me with that Warlock. From the Ashes with a Warlock is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Boom.
on this channel
2
you've mentioned many times your love for Warlocks.
Yep.
Warlocks.
And
I
I can't
love
not agree with that
Warlocks.
because I'm quite a proponent of them myself.
Certainly my favorite Fallen Kingdom common, one of my favorite commons in the game. I love their ability too. I just like piling wounds on my summoner. No, I don't like that. I just like I like that that's their theme. It fits nicely.
Yeah,
It
well,
really
it's a
does.
cool option, and
Yeah.
it is more useful than it would seem.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it actually goes really well with just having the high cost of the Warlock means it goes well with Ret Talus just because
Yeah, you can do that.
if you pay for them the regular way, it's you miss the point.
Yeah.
Their Warlocks are amazing. Yeah,
Right.
Warlocks are amazing with Karthos, like just absolutely incredible with Karthos.
Mm-hmm.
Get that precise range.
Yeah, but that also requires the 3 magic investment, which could be
I
very
mean,
challenging,
yeah, that's true. But,
but
if it's
yeah.
like it could just be a reasonable assassination play at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean it's very doable, and then your unit's still powerful. It's out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Bolvi. I'm going to kill this Warlock, and I summoned Raldag. What I definitely should have done at this point in the game, I don't have any more commons to make this worthwhile.
Oh.
I definitely should have the previous turn, because I figured something like this would happen. I just waited 1 turn too late. Should have dropped Raldag to Magic and summoned Vognar, because there's no way at this point I'm going to generate 6 more Magic to get Vognar out as well.
Yeah,
I can't...
Vognar was the better choice.
Yeah, because he just would have had more health. It would have been a little bit more tanky at the end of the game. I missed the Cultist. That was... I was really worried for a second because I was thinking the Cultist could get his 6 and then kill me, but of course he can't because he's wounded.
The Cultist is too wounded to end the game.
So now that we can see the lag of this game and how it could the end game can be very stressful.
Mm-hmm. Well, one wrong move, and he still has a card in his hand. I have no idea what it is. One wrong move could put me out in the open with Bolvi, and I could be toast. Because he can make sure that I'm toast with Magic.
Mm-hmm.
He can change with his will, Immortal Elien's will. Yep,
So
he
I
just
rolled
rolled a
6 outright, so
That
I
was
killed my
nice.
Cultist, and now Bolvi only has 1 hit left.
Awesome. So how much magic do you have in your magic prayer? At least 3. I think you have Hellcar in your hand, or did you build her?
You'll see, Joe, exactly what I have in my hand.
So I'm trying to keep...
all right.
What I'm trying to keep is I'm trying to keep there from any chance of him summoning something and shooting the wall and then shooting Bolvi through the space or some nonsense. I realize he only has 1 card in his hand, so that would have been a little bit impossible right now. But I'm scared. He's a wily one, our Matt.
So I'm going to kill my own wall.
So I'm thinking he's got a champion.
I'm just trying to deny him magic at any point I can here.
I'm thinking to myself, it has to be a champion because he's gaining magic. I've got Raldag, which is great, and I just have to keep Bolvi safe. I can keep him back in my little walled off corner here with all my wounded walls. Hopefully he'll live to the end of the game. There we go. Yeah. Again, just trying to make sure that Raldag is in position if he summons something. I don't want Raldag to get caught out in the open where he can get hit by several things at once.
Well, you're just wailing on those walls, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep, staying out of range of any of my units and slaughtering walls. That I thought for some reason that was a kill, but it wasn't. He
Would
was
have been
one,
nice.
Yeah, 1 short.
Would have been real nice.
So if that unit in my hand had been a common, if it had been that Oathsworn, but it wasn't. It was Vognar.
Yep.
Sitting in my, I kept him in my hand just in case. I mean, if you can't use him, there's no reason for him to be in Magic. You know, it might throw off your opponent. And I had a game with Irish once. Irish is Gluck, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he, we always call him Irish. Played with Irish once from the PNG forums, PHG forums, PNG, yeah, PHG forums. Sorry, Yeah, from the PhD forums, and I had a card in my hand. It was I think reinforcements. I didn't have any more commons, and he assumed it could be a common for a long time. It was an ice wall. That was what it was. It was an ice wall, and I was Grognak, and it threw him off, and it made him play in this weird way. So it's always good to keep that. He could have thought it was an ice golem, and it could have kept him playing safer than he had to.
So Matt, was this your last?
My last card was that cultist. Yeah. So I discarded Hellcar to make this work. So I pay 1 to do 2 wounds to Raldag.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yep. Gonna maximize the damage with the cultist.
Now you roll to see if you get the Death
Curse.
Slash.
He does. So that's just boom.
So you're just gonna try to go for it, right?
He's got 1 magic, right, or 2?
I think it's just 1 actually.
So you need to hit. You need to at least get 2 hits in a 2.
It needs to be 2. Yeah, I'm just kind of testing the waters here to see what happens.
Well, right now it seems like you've been cornered,
so now
you have no choice.
Right.
Other than to
so
go
I just
for it.
wanted to see how that move played out, just in case any mistakes were made. I might as well.
So I hit the wall for 1 because he asked me if I wanted to attack the wall.
Yeah.
I
See,
guess
now,
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now in hindsight, Wagner.
Yeah. This is where Wagner would have been great.
Yeah.
And
So I rolled badly. So
Yeah. So it was okay. He hit me for 1, and
Yep. And this is what we were saying, and that's there's the game. But that's what we were saying. I could have killed Raldag, and then it would have been a stalemate because nobody had to move at that point.
yeah. It's a nice. He's talking about the Harud there. How big that was. That was the turning point for sure.
Yeah.
In the Magic game, because I was definitely losing before that, I would say, and then I came back to some even standpoint.
If I had a different hand, I would never have even played that, but my hand was so lousy at the time.
Yeah, I understand.
You could have. Well, I mean, this is just me saying. I would have maybe nestled Harud in that top space, just wailing on that wall.
Well, I thought about that as well, but I really wanted to keep up the aggression, and if I killed the assault tower, I thought I was in good shape to have him definitely attack again.
Here's my Wagner being useless because I drew him late. Oh well. Anyway, but that was a solid game. I was able to maintain the wall. And that was
now
the
I'm
key.
definitely regretting all those warlocks.
I'm not. I
That
love
was
seeing
cool.
that kind of play.
I mean, it could have really worked. You almost had me several times.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a pretty solid match between Bolvi and Immortal Elien.
Although I'm glad to watch this match now and be able to comment on it. Now I have a higher appreciation for Bolvi and what he can do, what sort of plays are out there for him.
Right.
This is the end. So thanks for watching, everybody. It was a pleasure being here with you.
Definitely never a chore.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Till next time.